Hey, this is Trissa from Sewing and Things, and in this video we're sewing the fitted waistband for the Grady Sew Along. You will need your pants or shorts and 2 waistband pieces. One of them should have interfacing ironed on to the wrong side. We are going to start off by taking one of our waistband pieces that's going to be on the wrong side of our shorts, and we are going to press the convex curve, the longer side, also the side that has the notches, and we're going to fold it up and press by 5/8 of an inch all the way around. So go ahead and do that with your inside waistband piece. I'm doing the one that does not have interfacing, so go ahead and do that and then we'll come back. With that pressed, go ahead and put that aside for now. We are now going to take our other waistband piece. We're going to match up the notches to the side seams and the center back. You should have about 5/8 of an inch of excess at the center fronts of both sides of the waistband. Before sewing permanent stitches, you might want to baste on your waistband and have your child try it on. That way you can make any adjustments if necessary before sewing permanent stitches. So now we are going to sew our waistband to our shorts with a 5/8 seam allowance and go all the way around. Once your waistband is sewn, we are going to press the waistband up and the seam allowance up. So go ahead and give that a nice press and then we'll come back. Once that is pressed, we are going to grab our other waistband and with right sides together, you're going to pin it all the way around. You're going to start by sewing up from the center front fold. When you get to 5/8 of an inch from your waistband, you're going to stop and pivot and sew a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance all the way around until you get back to here, and then you're going to pivot and then sew going straight down where your fly extension is. To make sure this seam line is nice and straight, sometimes it's helpful to draw a line with chalk. That way you can keep this nice and straight. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. Before trimming the corners on your waistband, I like to just trim this a little bit on both sides and then flip it to test to make sure I have a nice right angle here on both of my front waistbands. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. That way, if you ever have to redo it, you have enough fabric to still sew on some new stitches. So that one looks pretty good. And that one looks good as well. So I'm going to go ahead and trim the corners on my waistband. I'm going to make sure you don't cut through any of the stitches. Now fold your waistband right side out. Push out those corners. And give that a nice press. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. To install the hook and eye closure, you're going to want your hook and eyes, 2 small strips of fabric, and then I'm going to go ahead and iron on a small strip of interfacing on the wrong side of my fabric, just because I don't have any interfacing on this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and install our hook and eye closure. We are going to start off by installing the hook, It should begin just past the center front in the center of the waistband. And you want to make sure you are only going through the inside layer of the waistband. Then we're going to get our scrap piece of fabric. I'm going to put our bottom of our hook on top and make sure the raised part is going towards the fabric. And you're going to want to get a screwdriver or something to help push those prongs in. I'm going to use scissors because these aren't very nice. So. And you're going to fold that fabric back over. Then your hook is installed. So now we are going to do our eye. And the eye is usually centered right above the zipper. But you also want to try on the pants and then make sure you install the eye to where it'll fit properly on the pants. But for my son, I'm just going to go right here, right at in the center where the zipper is. Make sure you're only going through the top layer of your waistband. And then get that scrap piece of fabric and do the same thing as we did with the hook. Put on your strip of fabric and then your other side of your prong on, and then close those. And then fold that fabric back over. We are now going to finish the waistband, but if you are doing the button elastic hack, be sure to click on the link in the upper right-hand corner. For the chino dress pant style version, we are going to sew 1/8 of an inch all the way around just the bottom. For the jean style, you're going to start at the bottom 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And you're going to pivot and go up your waistband, staying 1/8 of an inch from the edge, and then going around the top 1/8 of an inch all the way down. So go ahead and pin your waistband. Make sure your pins are on the front. And make sure you take your time and use plenty of pins. You want to make sure that our folded edge is covering our initial seam line. So go ahead and sew your waistband and then we'll come back. Once your waistband has been top stitched, if you are sewing belt loops, go ahead and do that now. If not, then your waistband is done.
To stay up to date on the latest videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, or you can check out my blog at sewingandthings.com.